Oh, whoa, 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 fuck, whoa, 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 hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, hey, ho, ho, hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 oh, hey, hey. Oh, 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 hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, ho, ho. Hey, hey, hey. Ho, ho, ho. What's up, Dreas? I gotta change the fucking dash. Bored. Oh, Jesus Christ. We got 5 people in here. I haven't even got my shit together. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Work out for me, work out for me. You wanna love me forever. Ow, ow, ow. If you work out for me, work out for me. I'm gonna be real with you. Tonight's gonna be kind of a weird night because there's not like a lot gaming news wise to talk about. And then obviously we've had some stuff go down, so you know. Yeah, there's some things to talk about as far as that's concerned. Do 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 do. Turn down for me, work out for me. It's weird. I feel like there's been like a lot of death in the last like few weeks, which is weird because like I mean it's not weird. I mean realistically everyone dies, but Jesus Christ, it just feels like a lot. I think it's because it's like I wish here right now, but wait, I wish here. Helped you and that. Oh yeah, I saw that in Discord. By the way, join the Discord. I haven't looked yet. If I do that, it'll be later. What's up, Antrite? What's up, Red Dragon? What's up, Static? And what's up, Jazz? And what's up, Yuki? So join the Discord if you haven't already joined the Discord. That's one thing. Second thing, R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. I think that's important to mention because it is something that needs to be brought up. So, R.I.P. What's up, Jeremiah? But yeah, R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. A lot of people are freaking the fuck out, and I understand. Like for those who are into to like the game of basketball and into that scene, I can understand him having a more bigger impact on your, not more bigger, a bigger impact on your life. But for me, as someone who didn't really care about sports and whatnot, it's like I'm sorry for the loss. I'm sorry. I'm probably more sorry that his daughter died. I think that's what irks me more. When an adult dies who's lived a full life, that doesn't bother me as much as a person who's like under the age of like 20 or 30. If you're 30 years old and you're dead, I'm like, fuck. That bums me out. So the fact I heard that his daughter also died, I was like, fuck. Hey, what's up, Twin Daggers? But like I said, I'm also not like, I was never overly interested in sports. So like, even though his death is sad, for me personally, it doesn't mean a lot. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it does. But I do want to say, I'm sorry for his loss. And for people who knew him personally, or even the fans of him. You lost someone great today, and that's a shame. I guess my problem also I've learned is that I don't really give as much of a fuck about celebrities dying, particularly because like death is such a constant thing in general, and I feel like it's annoying to me that like we'll make a huge national like uproar about this one famous person dying, but you have people who died in more tragic ways and in more tragic ways and at younger ages that I think is generally just a worse death. Like these kids and these kids dying who didn't even know what money was and grow up to have any of the adult pleasures that you may enjoy or other people may enjoy. I think that's sadder than a famous basketball player dying. That's why I said I feel worse about his daughter dying than I do him. because his daughter was only like 13 from what I remember. If I remember correctly, he was like 13. She was like 13. That's a goddamn shame, yo. I think that's probably what irks me more, personally. But that's besides the point. That's a bunch of shit that some of you might not even care about or knew. But Kobe died today in a helicopter crash. It was I think he was in his private helicopter, and it was him and a bunch of other people. I also feel bad for his wife, because his wife lost a daughter and she lost her daughter and she lost her husband. That's a shame. And like I said, it's the difference between losing, and to be fair, 41 is still young too. I'm not gonna try to downplay his death. I'm just saying, for me, I wasn't invested in the game, so my emotional connection doesn't hurt as much versus someone who was invested in the game or looked up to him as like an inspiration. But I do have my condolences go out to the family and friends. My parents were heavily into basketball specifically, so it's a bit of a shock today, especially with his daughter. His daughter is probably what bothers me the most, because that's a shame. Lose your fucking... there's a difference when you lose your fucking... There's a difference when you lose... If you lost your husband and you still have your daughter, you can take solace in that. But when you lose both at the same fucking time, and your daughter was so goddamn young, that's a shame. But I do want to give him some time in this particular one, because shit happens. Life is unpredictable. I'm just the kind of person who I'm trying to get... I'm just not the kind of person who dwells on it. And because of my lack of emotional connection in general, due to it being a person I wasn't overly interested in, and in a sport I really don't care about, I don't have that deep want to go out and fucking wear his outfits, because I never bought into that shit. I never watched the interviews. I didn't know much of his life philosophy. So I don't want to be out here trying to fake this level of sadness when it isn't true. Like, if I'm going to feel bad, I want you guys to know I genuinely feel bad about it. But like, here it's just like, I think it's a shame. I think it's a damn shame you lost somebody, another human being. Unfortunately, it's a part of the cycle of life. But I think his daughter was too fucking young, yo. That just pisses me off. But see, like, that's how life is. But, yeah. So with that being said, we're just going to talk about video games and such. There's not, like, a lot. There's not, like, anything crazy, newsworthy going on. So this will probably just be more of a general, like, talk. Also, if you want to ask questions in the Discord, join the Discord and put it in the questions for the podcast section. It should be for something like, what's it called? Questions for AME. Actually, Juice put a question in here, so I'll go ahead and answer these. There's only two in here right now. One of them's from Terminator Juice, and the other one's from Sora-san. So let's do the Terminator Juice one. The Terminator Juice one is pretty simple. Who's the better MC? Trevor, which is Robert, gaming with me. And then, or Mr. T from the Mr. T show. Hey there, fools. Here we go. It's time to show. Fucked it up. Here we go. Time to start the show. The show of Mr. T. Nintendo video games are the favorite place for me. News, reviews, some gameplay too. Battling drums is what I do. MIZCAH, it's the show of Mr. D. It's the show of Mr. D. Fools. I feel like that's not even a fair... I know is a joking question. But honestly, legit, like, I don't think we've heard much of Mr. T rap. And if we have heard it, it's like when he was younger. versus like Robert, who you've heard relatively recently. I mean, he put out an album last year, for God's sakes. So it's hard because I don't have a lot of Mr. T footage to go off of to make the claim of how good of a rapper he is. I don't claim him to be a bad rapper. I'm just saying, like, he's not known for being... It's hard because I don't have a lot of footage. Whereas I have like 3 or 4 songs of Robert. I think my only problem I have with Robert rapping is not that Robert's bad. Robert does what I like to call like that Eminem flow, where he like raps in he raps very fast, and he raps on like a different tier of syllables and shit. The problem I have is that, like, unlike Eminem, who can do it and also stay on beat, Robert doesn't necessarily stay on beat a lot of the time. So like sometimes if you go and listen to his album, a lot of the tracks aren't bad, but for one, they all have the same kind of flow. They have very similar flows, and then the second problem is he does that thing where he falls off the beat a lot. And it like, to me, I mean, the beat is a part of the song, so if you fall off the beat, I can't really enjoy the beat as much. But I would like to hear modern Mr. T stuff to give a fair comparison. But I probably would say just really for that reason. I think, and from what I've heard of T's older stuff, T's pretty good. Actually, I'll see if I can find it real quick. T's only posted like a few of his old rapping vids, but if I can find one real quick, god damn it. This is how we start a podcast about video games. We look up rap songs. I don't know if he still has it on here or if it's easy to find. We're going to find out. If it's not, then damn it. Well, he did the Insecure Vaginas, but that's not what I need. I need like his old school. Yeah, here we go. I think this is it. Like I said, I don't have a lot of them, but I feel like T can get down. I hope T doesn't copyright claim my YouTube video. So stupid. I'll link it. Oh, whoops. Oh, wrong earbud. I mean, wrong ear. I don't know if you guys want me to play it, I'll play it. But if not, we can just move on. This is not what you came here for. But I'm gonna at least link T's video there, and then I'm probably gonna link my favorite video from Robert here too. I think that's how you spell it. I think it was Good Day is the one I'm thinking of. I like, 'cause I'm having a good day. Oh no, what is it? I thought I was subscribed to the channel, so I thought it would come up quicker. Fuck me. This is highly unprofessional, I apologize. We're gonna get to like legit game talk in a second. I just wanted to go ahead and answer that because the second question is gaming related. Where are you? His name is Trevor, isn't it? Fine, let me go find gaming with me and then find it that way. And now I'm gonna find his rap channel, which is kind of dumb. I have to go this way about it. Yeah, it's right there. So why wouldn't you show up when I did it? Oh, I'm not subscribed to it. That would be probably... Oh, it's Happy Today. That's what I fucked up on. I'm thinking it's Good Day is Happy Today. That one's really good too. Let me subscribe to Trevor's channel, so I have it, because apparently I was not subscribed. And then we'll talk about video games. There's not a lot to talk about gaming because like the Capcom shit was like the Street Fighter announcement was proven by Yoshi Ono that wasn't true. So there's not a lot there, but we're gonna get to it anyway. But like personally, I think I prefer T's rapping style over Robert's. I gave that more of a legit answer than I needed to, but it has been answered. So we're going to delete that message, and now we're going to go to the next thing. Next thing being, what are your thoughts on the lineup for this year? Now, Nintendo put out a little infograph. I want to say, was that earlier this week? I want to say it hasn't been that long. Is the point I'm making. But on it has like some of the releases we know about. So like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is already out. The next thing is Snack World, which is a game. I'll be real with you. Snack World is one of those games that, like, we've literally, if anyone remembers the Snack World saga, which is what I like to call it, which is a game that was announced and talked about back, I want to say, like in 2013, 14, 15. It's one of those games that's like been around since like the Wii U era that like never got localized, but it always was talked about as if it was like this franchise. It was one of those things where you're like, is this coming out? And if it is, it's coming out in West, and it never did. We finally have a Western game coming out, and that comes out on the 14th of February. You know what else comes out? Darksiders Genesis. That comes out February 14th. Then you got Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, which the reveal for that was the fact that like you could do style switching, which is something apparently you can do in the later games, but you couldn't do in 3. They went back and retroactively added in 3, so that's cool. Then you have the Mystery Dungeon Remake, which comes out March 6th. Animal Crossing, March 20th. Trials of Mana, April 24th. Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, May 24th. I said April for Trials of Mana, I'm sorry. May for SpongeBob. That, I haven't even pre-ordered that yet because I'm debating if I want to spend $300 or not. I'm so tempted, dog. Y'all don't fucking know. I love Battle for Bikini Bottom. That bitch has a release date. I'm so tempted. I know I don't need it. That's the problem. I think I'm going to wait until I get to about March and see how I feel. I don't think that's going to sell out. I would think not, but I've been proven wrong before. So I'm casually watching it. But if it doesn't sell out, bruh, I might spend $30 on a fucking SpongeBob game. A remake of all things. But fuck it, I don't care. Then you got this Pokemon DLC in June 20th. The first half of the Pokemon is June 20th. Then you just got 2020 games, which is Doom Eternal, Panzer Dragoon, Outer Worlds, Minecraft Dungeons. Oh, is that Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles or... I can't read that because it's like kind of blurry, but I think it's Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. No More Heroes 3, Bravely Default 2, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Lego Star Wars, Smash Brothers DLC Pack 2, Season 2, Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and Deadly Premonition 2. And then it goes the whole, that's not all. Which it needs to, because if you looked at that list is kind of weak. Considering the first half of the year has a bunch of ports / remakes with a few new titles in there, and you're just like, that's a pretty weak way to start off the year. And then the second half supposedly has a few new games, but like this feels like a weak ass Nintendo year based off of that. If Zelda comes out this year, I'm good. I hope they announce a new Mario or a Super Mario Odyssey. Okay, well I guess, and that brings up a question. If you were to get a Mario game, would you prefer the Odyssey style or the 3D World style? I'm asking this because I've noticed in some of the critical Mario discussion, a lot of people think 3D World had the better gameplay mechanic style versus Odyssey. Where Odyssey is one of those games that you enjoyed the first like 20-30 hours and then you get burned out if you kept going. Whereas like people would argue that 3D World was the opposite, where it started out kind of basic and then got better as the game progressed. I mean, it's kind of a weak year for RPGs, but remember, what about Final Fantasy Remake? It was funny because I almost wanted to come up here and have the conversation about JRPGs and the people's issues with turn-based ones. Because we also got didn't the Remind DLC come out, or is it about to come out? No, I think it didn't Remind come out, or is it about to? I forget which. Let's double check because I don't fucking remember. Because I really haven't been paying attention. Kakarot also came out Friday, which it seems like people are enjoying. So you prefer the Odyssey style. Okay. Real quick, let me check. I think it's the 30th, though. Okay, it did come out. And I don't know how people feel about Remind as DLC because I haven't really looked up too much footage. intentionally. I know Tyrone said he was gonna get it, but he didn't get it, so I don't know. I've heard. I mean, it's kind of. I'm thinking it's about what I expected. 3D World style would be my preference, but that probably won't because it's in some. Is there a reason why it's your preference? What is it about 3D World style that you prefer over Odyssey? Because I find this conversation interesting, personally. It's not the most like complex thing, but I find it interesting because for me, Mario has always been kind of a style that I never cared about playing an open world game with Mario. That's probably the reason why I think New Super Mario Brothers did so well when it first came out. I think people like 2D Mario more than they like 3D Mario. A lot of people would argue that's not true, but then you look at the sales of the games and you go, oh, maybe that is kind of true. See, that's my thing. You wouldn't announce a new Mario game and then port 3D World. To me, that just seems... Unless the game came out later. But then it seems... But Nintendo isn't doing that early announcement shit anymore. Usually when they announce a game, that game comes out within the next year. So I don't think it's a simple case of, oh, they'll announce a 3D World port and then right afterwards be like, oh, Mario Odyssey 2 is coming out. And I also want them to get a little bit more experimental with Mario. There's also been rumors of like a new 2D Metroid and Paper Mario, which if there's a Paper Mario and if there's a new Paper Mario, I feel like that would fulfill the Mario quota. Because, like, Nintendo went through this period where they were putting out Mario games like it was crack. Like, Mario, the IP, not necessarily, like, one kind of game. But, like, Mario as an IP during, like, I want to say probably during, like, the mid-2000s. Like, 2005, 2006, 2007. Probably around 2007. All the way up to, like, 2013, I want to say. 2013, 2014... Actually, no, probably up to like 2015 and 16. Mario had a game like every fucking year. And people just got burnt out on a lot of on him. Not even the franchises, just him. They're like, holy shit, another Mario game. Let's see, I like the variety in 3D World, which is kind of the reason why I like 3D World. Like, Odyssey is a good game, but I genuinely believe that like Odyssey is one of those games that actually feels worse over time. Because even though Odyssey has its quote-unquote tricks, what it really has is its one trick that you can apply in a bunch of situations, but the way you apply it doesn't really change. You're using it primarily to maintain airtime or get distance. So it doesn't... Like, the trick is cool, but once you figure out the trick, it doesn't mean as much. Not that, like, 3D World... I mean, not that Odyssey doesn't have interesting level design. It's just, like... It's not... It doesn't stick out as long as it should. And I also think that Odyssey runs the risk of dragging, whereas I think 3D World's a more concise product that I can genuinely enjoy in any situation. I could go back and play 3D Mario World and be perfectly fine. Whereas I don't think some people wouldn't. Which is weird, Melvin, because like, according to sales, a lot of people would fuck with 2D Mario over 3D Mario. Actually, I'm curious, where's New Super Mario Brothers, where is that port at right now, sales-wise? I'm just curious. I mean, people were surprised it sold as well as it did anyway. But I'm just curious. Let's see, New Super Mario. This will bring me a bunch of different games. Obviously, nothing's going to ever outsell this fucking abomination, but Jesus Christ. I forget the original New Super Mario Brothers, so fucking... It wasn't even was it the original? No. Actually, it was. The original fucking New Super Mario Brothers on the DS sold 30 fucking million. And then the Wii, like, what was that, 3 years later, sold another 30 fucking million. Christ almighty. And then people wonder why like Nintendo games wouldn't show up on like, if you watch the Juice Loose podcast, you remember us talking about console exclusivity and how like Juice didn't care about Nintendo games coming to PC. And one of the arguments I put out was the fact that I think part of the reason why like Sony and Microsoft are doing this is because game development has gotten so fucking expensive, they can't afford not to like to lose chances on wasting money. And people go, well, wouldn't Nintendo run into the same problem? I say, no, because Nintendo inherently is cheap about how they make their games. When you think about a game on the DS, like New Super Mario Brothers, selling 30 million, and that was a full price game. Now, it wasn't $60, but New Super Mario Brothers was, and it sold like, what was that? Almost just as much. They both sold 30 million. It's just that New Super Mario Brothers was closer to 31 than the Wii version was. It still sold like gangbusters. Hell, the Switch version has almost sold 5 million, and it's only been out since it's been out almost a year. So 5 million in a year. Now, granted, I don't expect it to like. And to be fair, the last time it was updated on VG charts was in March. So it sold 5 million in 3 fucking months. We're about to get their next financial report soon. So we'll see where it's at. But like, that's insane. That is absolutely nuts. That a game that had been out for 2 to 3 months sold that fucking much. Like, people forget Mario is literally the Mickey Mouse of gaming. I don't give a fuck what anyone tells you. Steve is cool, but everybody in the grandma knows Mario. Not everybody knows. Now, Steve, Minecraft's mindshare is, which is funny. Minecraft's mindshare is ridiculous too, but not on the same fucking level. Also, what's up, little lazy one? I've always been more of a Mario fan, Sprino fan, which to be fair, I am too. Like, I enjoyed more Mario Kart, Mario Luigi. Paper Mario was the only franchise I didn't really get into. But yeah, I would agree. Super Mario 3D World was my first 3D Mario. Odyssey's more my first traditional 3D Mario. Even though I've played a little bit of Sunshine, I played a little bit of 64, I played a little bit of Galaxy, like demo units and shit. I never bought those games. And I never played through like full playthroughs of those games. Yeah, I did that at the beginning. V keeps it low key. What's up? But yeah, R.I.P. to Kobe Bryant. I feel like I said before, I feel really bad for his daughter, who was just way too fucking young. Like, at least you could argue Kobe Bryant lived like a relatively full life. Fucking his daughter was like, what, 13? That shit is sad. I don't want to go back into that again, but yeah. Oh no, I had to my home second. Never. No, you're fine, V. Never eat too much, folks. Remember to chew. I did not do that. I apologize. Holy shit. I also find it funny that you two mentioned Paper Marios that most people don't even like. People hate Sticker Star, and Super Paper Mario is like the middle of the road game, where people don't hate it, but people don't love it either. Paper Mario is kind of a weird franchise because the most hated, if I remember correctly, the best-selling version of it isn't even the best-selling one. Isn't even the one that people love to death. If I remember correctly. Mario Luigi, I think, took a bigger hit. That was the one I was more invested in because I like RPGs and shit. Where I thought, like, I think I stopped playing the RPGs after Bowser's Inside Story, and I didn't touch Dream Team. And then, which Dream Team generally is one of those games I would probably go back and play. Dream Team is one of those games that, like, I feel bad that I miss versus like fucking Paper Jam, which doesn't look great, and then you had the remakes of 1 and 3, which would probably be the way I would replay 3 because I didn't finish Bowser's Inside Story. I only did like the first few hours of that game, Partners in Time is still like my favorite game. Yeah, actually, I just looked it up. Paper Mario, of the Paper Mario titles, Super Paper Mario is the best-selling one at 4.23 million. Sticker Star is the second best-selling at 2.46, and then it's Thousand Year Door, which are the Thousand Year Door is most people would say is their favorite Paper Mario, and that still didn't sell like amazingly. It sold well, but it didn't say great, especially for a Mario title. And then the original Paper Mario is like right behind that. The only two Paper Mario games that didn't sell well would be Color Splash and Paper Jam. And I don't even think we ever found out what Color Splash sold because they don't have a sales for it. We know the Paper Jam sold 1 million, but we don't have no idea what Color Splash sold. They have it at almost 1 million. Color Splash supposedly is almost at 1 million. It's like at 8.87. It's like around 800,000 going into 900,000, which is a shame because I feel like Color Splash was more of a genuine effort to like go back from what I saw. To go back to what people liked about it. It just didn't get all the way there. It's also like the worst rated. Well, actually, I probably would think Sticker Star is probably arguably the worst rated. But that's besides the point. Galaxies was probably the game I'd probably be more interested in. Although I wouldn't mind replaying 3D World. I mean, me personally, I would not mind replaying 3D World. Yeah, Sticker Star sold really well. So I'm surprised. But see, everything on the Wii, almost a lot of Nintendo games on the Wii sold great. At least sold 1 million, I think. A lot of people want another Strikers game. Which, going back and looking at Strikers just reminds me of a weird time in Nintendo history. Strikers is such a different kind of Mario game. Where else? When is the Eating Pizza Part 2? I feel like people want me to do that, but there's like no point in it, considering like the premise behind me doing the original is that it's a blooper out of the video. I don't remember the original video. It's actually, the original video was uploaded on the channel. I think it's like right near when I uploaded that blooper. It's literally like a dead space where I was waiting for the chance to talk, and then my sister's friend's baby started crying, and I had pizza, so I was trying to finish the video kind of quickly. So I started eating the fucking pizza, and then for some reason they took it and took a screenshot and memed it, and now it's on like YouTube. I don't think that'll ever really come because there's no reason for me to do it unless like I'm trying to cash in on it, which it's not like it's that popular of a meme to begin with. What else am I missing? Yeah, but I mean, I still prefer Sonic, and there are rumors that Sonic will have his game this year, which is relatively exciting for Sonic fans because, you know, we want games, damn it. God, we want games. But, make sure I didn't miss any extra questions. But as far as the layout, I feel like I kind of missed the question completely. The lineup is kind of mediocre for this year, without any surprises. Like, No More Heroes 3 is going to be a cool fucking game. Most people will want ports of the first game. I'm also surprised it's supposed to come out in 2020, considering the last time he talked about it was back. Also, what's up, DJ? I don't know if I said that earlier. But it's weird because he was talking about the game. The last interview I remember him talking about the game, he was like, No More Heroes 3 is like 20% done. And I'm like, if it's 20% done, how the fuck is this coming out this year? It's either going to get pushed back or it's like a holiday game. Which is dangerous fucking territory if last year was anything to go by. You do not want to put this bitch out next to anything major. So all I'm going to say, suitors, be fucking careful. Don't let this bitch come out like next to anything nuts. Because No More Heroes is a great game, and No More Heroes will lose against a lot of fucking franchises in terms of priorities. But yeah. I still play Masters. Masters is alright. I enjoy it. But I'm definitely not like in love with it. Now let's get to the last question on here. Like I said, if you want to ask me questions, post it in the Discord, which is the link is in the description. That's how you join. Join the Discord. Do you think it'll be possible for Nintendo to outdo Smash Ultimate? I feel like no matter what, people won't be happy because we'll never get because we'll probably get a smaller roster. I think it's actually gotten to the point where a lot of people would prefer a smaller roster. Making this game be the ultimate game and be like, listen, this is the kind of shit you want. This is what I'm going to give it to you. Melvin, you just blow through shit. That's the problem. Smash is one of those titles that it's become not just a celebration of Nintendo. It's become a celebration of gaming. And because of that, no matter what, it actually would make the next Smash the most interesting one, in my opinion. Because the next Smash will now be something completely different. I don't think everyone will be happy. But it makes things super interesting moving forward. And I'm kind of glad because, honestly, this was an issue with Smash in general. Like, this eventually was going to become a problem. It's the same issue I think people had with the whole Pokemon situation where eventually the more and more you add, the harder and harder it gets for every new game. Fuck me. Hiccups are a bitch, folks. That's why you always bring your tea. Oh no, that was not a lettuce. That was like bread. I don't think Ultimate should be the last one. Smash as a franchise still works and is still really addictive to play. Also, what's up, Lightning? But Smash needs to change anyway. And I think having a more curated and more focused roster would help it. At this point, Smash has become fan service the game, which is great. But I think giving Sakurai some leniency for the next one and having him go in a completely different direction is great. It'll still be the basics of Smash, but if we knowing that we can't really do what we've been doing, I want him to really focus on, like, because the problem I think Smash also suffers from is it being an iterative game. Every new game essentially struggles. As the games go on, you start noticing some of the smaller inconsistencies. The fact that Mario and Luigi and like Yoshi and Donkey Kong and Samus and Captain Falcon all suffer from that whole, well, my game, we've been in this game since the beginning, so our moveset's really fucking similar. Like, I think a lot of people are cool with the idea of having fully revamped characters. And you may be only giving us like 20 to 30 characters. I think people would be cool with that. Because I think people are ready for Sakurai to have the ability to do what the fuck he wants. Also, I honestly at this point, I'd be totally cool if he wants to take another detour for a few years. And make, another Kid Icarus. Because that'd be great. That'd be fucking beautiful. I say that knowing that he's already disbanded that company. Like, he made like a legit company to like focus on the Kid Icarus title and then disbanded it like at the end of its development. And I was like, fuck. Because Kid Icarus is great. Uprising was great. Other than the system it was on. God, that game is such a gem. It's such a gem that deserves more love. I need Sakurai needs to drop. Oh, you think Sakurai needs to drop another clone character? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Smash is not what I consider a perfect game. It's a perfect, like, fan servicey game, but it's not the perfect game. And I think giving him the freedom to do what he wants to do would make that game franchise shine. So I'm curious moving forward because he hasn't updated all the characters to the degree he could have. He's only done like minor things here and there, like giving Luigi the vacuum, and Mario now has a Cappy taunt, and he has his wedding outfit. But his outfit, like the way, I'd be curious to see how he iterates. And I'd be interested to see him do a fighting game in general. Not even Smash, just a fighting game. But we'll see. Only time will tell. But I'm 100% cool with him like cutting down the rosters. And I think a bunch of people wouldn't mind him doing that. Because then it makes me get excited for characters all over again. Or maybe being allowed to be more reckless about his character choices. Like, because realistically, it's something that I think Nintendo's been toying with in general. Like, for example, a lot of people mention how in Mario Kart is essentially going to, 8 was the most reckless they got about character choices. And people think they're going to slowly do what they've been doing with Smash and make it like this celebration of gaming. Which is a beautiful fucking thing. But, jeez. What's up, Mezzy? I think this should be a last Smash. I think Smash is a franchise that can keep going, but he's definitely gonna have to shake it up for the next one, especially if he's planning to cut down the roster. Which, to be fair, he kind of fucking needs to do because it's only gonna get worse and worse as time moves on. Especially when he starts moving to new engines and wanting to do more shit. You're limited to like the restrictions of the older characters, and nobody wants to be in that situation. Hell, Smash is a technical masterpiece in the sense that like you don't know what the fuck. How is he doing everything he's able to do in that game without causing like massive slowdown and glitches? Yeah, exactly. And then that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm perfectly cool with him because like realistically, Smash was gonna have to do this anyway. So letting him go back, so giving us the best game to me, I think that's fair. You give us the best possible Smash game you can possibly make now. And then the next game is a shakeup. Because even if that game doesn't do well, Smash Ultimate literally has everything you want. You can't complain about Ridley. You have Ridley. You have K. Rool. You have Banjo. You have fucking... you have representation of most of major franchises. Even if they're not playable. Like Rayman and Bomberman and that shit. Like, realistically, I think people would be cool with him trying to change it up. Especially when you give us a game that literally is one of those games I could play forever. Because Smash is going to run into the same problem any other franchise runs into. Fatigue. Granted, Smash doesn't come out that often, but still. Actually, I think the worst problem was the fact that Wii U and Ultimate came out too close to each other. So, like, Ultimate I don't feel like hit the same high as it could have. Because Wii U came out in 2014... and then this came out in 2018. Now, granted, it's been 4 years, but it doesn't feel long. Like, Smash is not a franchise that needs to be shown, like, every other year. That was kind of the problem people have with Pokemon. If you show it too frequently, people get burnt out on it. And considering the DLC is going to last up until probably the end of this year, early next year, the next Smash game could take, like, a 5-year break, and I think people would be cool with it. Smash is not a game that needs to be used all the time. Which means Sakurai will always have time to like fuck around and change up the game. And I look forward to seeing him do that personally. If they can start complaining about too many Fire Emblems in Mario Kart next. That's when you know we've gone up the shit creek. Oh no, Lightning, I already saw it. I saw it on Twitter. You completing critical mode. Congrats. Smash Brothers Ultimate is the new Melee. Watch people be upset about the new Smash. Well, I mean, they will be. I mean, you're going to get mad people. That's just going to happen. But I think if Sakurai puts in the same level of polish he's been putting in these other games, I think it'll go over better. Because, I mean, Smash 4 wasn't that long ago. Even now, Smash 4 was like 6 years ago. It came out in more like 5 because we're not that far into 2020. It came out late 2014. So, like, by the time, like, I think that was the quickest turnover for Smash Brothers. Because, like, I'm pretty sure Melee to Brawl came out 2000. I want to say Brawl came out 2008. And Melee came out, like, 2003? What was Melee's release date? Let me just check. I'm pretty sure. I just don't remember the date. Let's see. Melee came out 2001. So So the gap between Melee and Brawl was 7 fucking years. And then you got like another 6 years between Brawl and Wii U / 3DS. Because, so that was like... Actually, no, yeah. Yeah. So Wii U came out 2014, so 6 years. And then I mean, think about it. You went from the original Smash Brothers 2 years to make Melee, then another fucking 7 years to get Brawl, then 6 years to get Wii U, and then another 4 years to get Ultimate. Considering these games are games that are meant to last like full console generations, and I mean like long console generations, like Ultimate technically came out too early for a lot of people. Like Ultimate's cool, but like Ultimate's one of those games that it could have came out this year and people would have still lost their goddamn minds. Smash is just one of those titles. This has been one of the quickest turnovers since like fucking the original to Melee. So it feels like it technically has been coming out quicker and quicker, which is kind of the problem, I think. Whereas like the gap between Melee and Brawl was very fucking long, and it worked out in the favor. Especially because like, I mean, think about it. Brawl came out 3 years into the Wii, and then fucking Melee came out what? A year or two into the GameCube? Well, they came out super fucking early. Versus like Wii U that came out kind of in the middle towards the latter half. I mean, Smash Wii U lasted until the console died. Like the last Smash reveal we got was in 2016, I want to say. 2016. 2015, 2016. I think it was maybe in 2015. It lasted for like a year. So I think that's the situation with that anyway. And then the hype for it was... And then the other thing is that the hype lasted longer than the game did. Like, think about it. Smash Wii U was announced in 2013. So it was announced in 13, came out 14, and then had DLC that lasted at least through the 15. So like the game doesn't feel that old because you fucking just... That hype is still kind of sort of recent. It's been like... It's been like 6 years, 6 to 7 years, but it doesn't feel like it. So I think giving him a gap would be fine. Like, I don't think we need, especially with the DLC. DLC makes these games feel longer. So like, if the DLC lasts another year, that means this game came out in 18, had DLC through 19, had DLC through 20, and potentially at the beginning of 2021. So a game that came out in 2018, lasted 3 fucking years. We don't really need, and that's the other thing. A lot of people had that complaint with Smash in general, that Smash Ultimate felt like a half step from 4. Because it didn't have a lot of time for a change. And that's the thing. So I would hope we would get the Smash title. I honestly would say let Sakurai do something else. Give Sakurai some time away from Smash. Kind of like what he did between Brawl and fucking Wii U, where he did Uprising in between. And he did Uprising, what was that, 2011, 2010, he was doing Kid Icarus. Give him a break and let him work on something different. But that kind of went all over the place. So that's, the lazy one has asked a question. So we shall look at the lazy one. Also, thank you for the real Condorlano. That's kind of funny. The real Condoriano. Isn't that like the One Piece filler character that they gave him that fake name to make it seem like he was a part of their group even though he wasn't? From the G8 filler arc, I think, which is kind of funny. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what Sakurai would do if he had his hands in Kirby again. Because Sakurai hasn't had his hands in Kirby, and I kind of want to see what he would do with Kirby if he did. So the lazy one's question is, so I have a question. If Mega Evolution does come back in Gen 9, how would you change it? Because I would nerf the stats and give it 3 turns. And as for Mega Rayquaza, it would have Mega Stones as a held item. It kind of it's not fluently stated, but I understand what you mean. If it had to come back, if we had to get Mega Evolution essentially would have very similar limitations to Dynamaxing. See, the problem though is that like Mega Evolutions, I think that would be the trade-off. It would have to have a similar situation to Dynamaxing where it could only last a couple of turns. The other problem is that it still suffers from the fact that only certain Pokemon can Mega Evolve. I think every Pokemon, if you brought Mega Evolution back, every Pokemon deserves a Mega. You can't do this half and half shit where certain Pokemon get Megas. I also think that would increase the strategy because then you wouldn't know which Mega, which Pokemon was the Mega. You wouldn't know that until they Mega Evolved. Now, obviously, when the tier houses come out, you would figure it out. But like currently, but during the early area of the game, you wouldn't know who had the Mega. I don't think the stats. I think the problem is that Pokemon's never been balanced with stats. So I don't even think nerfing the stats would fix anything. I think if you're gonna do anything with the stats, I think every Pokemon deserves to be a little bit broken in Megas. But you can only do it once, and you can only do it with one Mon, and you lose it after 3 turns. Mega Rayquaza definitely, I would agree, needs to have a fucking held item. Need to have it as a held item. Because it's nonsense to have a broken ass Mon that doesn't have any limitations. I mean, I'm just kind of past Mega Evolutions. Personally. Mega Evolutions are cool, but like they're so broken in concept. And the fact that only certain Mons can use them makes it worse. But yeah, I don't really have any much else to add to that other than give them the Dynamax. And even the Dynamax situation isn't balanced because Dynamaxing is still kind of broken depending on how you do it and because of some of the glitches that are still in the main game. But like Dynamaxing suffers in the same vein. The Dynamaxing is essentially a you just wait until the end of the match and then you Dynamax. That's literally all it was. Because making it last all fucking match is dangerous. It's because then that just means I could use my broken ass Mon to sweep you. And then you have Pokemon like Kangaskhan that were absolutely fucking broken. And you can do a goddamn thing. So I don't really care for the idea of that again. I think that's what they're trying to do, is that because a lot of their gimmicks used to focus around the battling, and the battling gimmicks never stuck around, they're trying to push the Pokemon gimmicks. But the problem is, like, even Dynamaxing suffers from people abusing it until the end of the match. There should be a benefit to using it early game. So you have to pick your poison. Like, the longer you wait in the match, that'd be a good one. The longer you wait in the match, the weaker it gets. Because the Dynamax energy is at its strongest at the beginning of the match, or like the first, I want to say 3 turns. The first 3 turns, it is at its strongest. And if you run the risk, and when the power level drops, if you're Dynamax while the power level drops, then your stats also drop. So the best time to use it is early. But like the Pokemon have to reflect in that. So, like, there's a battle stipulation there. Like, there's a reason. The problem is there's no reason to Dynamax early. And the same thing with Mega. Like, in Mega Evolutions, there's no reason to Mega Evolve early unless it's a Mon that's going to be setting up. And even then, Pokemon usually set up, and then it comes out as a kill. There's got to be a benefit to using it in different situations. The problem I think I have with both of the gimmicks is that they're essentially like, we'll just wait until the end of the match and then cheat you. That's the premise. Let me wait until the end of the match and then kill you, and like assure my victory. So, for me personally, that would be my changes. Yeah, let me delete that. So yeah. So I hope that kind of answered your question of how I feel about the whole thing. But if anyone else has any questions or anything that they want to talk about, that's cool. We got like 5-10 minutes of conversation worthy stuffs. And like I said, there's not like gaming wise. I mean, you had the Street Fighter thing. The Street Fighter thing would have been cool. I wouldn't have been like against it. It just wouldn't have meant that much to me. Because the last time we had a Street Fighter game on the Nintendo system was, well, other than the Switch, I mean, would be, we had 4. We had 4 on the 3DS, which is one of the weirdest fucking decisions. It's not like it's unheard of. It's just that Capcom has been very in their, let's put out a bunch of old shit on the Switch. Almost every game they put out other than like Mega Man has been an old ass game. So even if we got Street Fighter, we probably would get like Super Street Fighter 4. Or like the Ultimate Edition of Street Fighter 4. Maybe the Ultimate Edition of Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That is what we would get. We wouldn't get 5. Also, 5 has been console exclusive since, what was that, 2013? 2014? I just don't see them changing that. Not anytime soon, anyway. I'm just not interested. I'll be honest with you, Lightning. I probably would end up watching a playthrough of Remind before I even buy it. Remind just isn't, as much as I hate to do it, Remind is not on my mind like that. Like, it's cool that people get DLC for a game that was severely lacking content. But, like, for me, playing Remind is not something I'm overly... Like, unfortunately, I just feel like Remind kind of burnt my... I feel like 3 burnt my my interest in Kingdom Hearts as a whole. So, like, Remind doesn't do a lot for me. It's not, like, the worst thing in the world, but I'm just not overly interested in it either. It's kind of like, oh, well, this DLC. And Kakarot's about what I expect. The problem with Kakarot, like, Dragon Ball Z games just don't have a lot for me. Because they're fucking, like... Fighters has probably one of the more interesting stories as far as Dragon Ball Z, and it's still, and that game is dragged out because of its RPG elements in a fighting game, which you should never fucking do. It's like, we need to make this fighting game pad the fuck out. So what do? We put a bullshit ass story mode in there that has like this annoying level up mechanic for a fucking fighting game. So it doesn't, I like the story in fucking Fighters. I just don't like what I have to do to play the story. And in Kakarot, it's the same fucking nonsense. Where, actually in Kakarot, it's worse. Where the story is so, like, repetitious. That, like, I'm already not interested in playing through the story. The gameplay looks fine. I think if it was attached to, like, a better story. The only thing that made Kakarot kind of interesting was the fact that it references a lot of the filler. We can go through Kingdom Hearts 3 real quick. It shouldn't take too long. I say that, but I'll ramble on. Kingdom Hearts 3 for me had a few issues. The first issue was the fact that all the plot for Kingdom Hearts 3 decided to wait until the end of the fucking game to happen. Second problem is the game is much shorter than the other Kingdom Hearts titles because there's less shit to do and like barely any post-game content that's worth doing. I hate the fact that, like, Sora is the only character who can get any shit done in the story. And even then, Sora's fucking up constantly. But, like, Riku can't do a goddamn thing. Aqua can't do a goddamn thing. Kairi doesn't do jack shit at all. Axel doesn't do jack shit at all. Mickey ain't shit. It annoys me that, like, you give me this in the Keyblade War is a disappointment. They try to emulate a sequence from Kingdom Hearts 2 with the 1,000 Heartless fight, but like the problem I have with it in Kingdom Hearts 3 is that when they replicate it, you can tell that the game can't handle it. So like what the game ends up doing is it ends up having like this heartless background, and you're in really like a circle, and you're fighting the enemies in the circle. All the background heartless are just background. They can't even be killed. Hell, half of them aren't even running at like at the proper frame rate. Some are running at like 15, 25 frames or some shit. It's ridiculous. What else am I missing? I don't like a lot of the Disney worlds. I think Frozen was handled poorly. Tangled I like because I like the movie, but the actual game world isn't overly interesting. It's actually I think Tangled and Frozen both suffer from being visually very fucking repetitive. They both literally look like the same level multiple times. It aggravates the shit out of me. I don't like the weird choices they took with Toy Story. I think it's not bad, but god damn it. God fucking damn it. They could have did so much more. Toy Story has so much shit you can do. So it frustrates me that the best we got was them fucking around in a mall. And by the way, the shit ends on a cliffhanger. And like I said, the game has less content than 2. So what does that result in? No second trips. Fuck you, game. Well, I mean, fixes Kyrie doesn't do anything. What you mean to say, Lightning, is that Remind does what the main game should have done, which is a problem. You're not gonna get me to pay fucking $30 for me to be like, oh, that's Kyrie. It's also the DLC. I gotta give you, so I had to spend $90 to get a story that might be kind of sort of worth it. And the damn Remind DLC is just gonna fix the latter end of the game, which to me was the part of the game that was the most enjoyable. The most enjoyable part of the game is the last section, the Keyblade Graveyard. That is the best fucking area in the game, and the DLC is just more of that. What I would have rather you done, not saying I wouldn't have preferred that, I would have rather you also given me some better Disney fucking worlds and done some cooler shit. Ugh. I feel like calling Kingdom Hearts 3 2.5 is, I think that's more like Kingdom Hearts 2.25. It doesn't, like, it just, there's nothing I can't think other than looking better. That's the only thing it does over the other games. There's like storylines with the Final Fantasy characters that just never get addressed. Like the Cloud and Sephiroth situation in 2. Where we were like, Cloud was constantly fighting within himself and shit. Like, god damn it. The stories aren't that interesting in the Disney worlds. We're like, Sora, Donald, and Goofy are bystanders in a lot of the worlds. That shit sucks. Kingdom Hearts 3 is such a disappointing game, it's infuriating. Also, hey KG, I'm sorry, I kind of went on a little rant there. It makes DLC feel complete with the Kakarot side stories. If it's just the mission to complete those side stories. I feel like I missed part of KG. The KG see something else, or did I just miss part of it? It makes DLC with the Kakarot side stories. I appreciate the Kakarot side stories. I just don't give a fuck as much because I still gotta go through the main fucking story again. I still gotta do the fucking moving Radix to fucking to make sure he gets shot with the special beam cannon. I still gotta fucking fight Nappa and Vegeta. I still gotta go and I gotta fight fucking Frieza. I still gotta fight Android 17, 18, 16, and Cell. I still gotta do the same shit that I had to do in every other Dragon Ball fucking Z game. It looks prettier and it has cooler animations, but it's the same shit. Dragon Ball Z is not that fucking entertaining that I can replay every fucking, like, and the problem is that because of so many games coming out, you never forget the storyline. You never forget Z's plot points. Now, if you had me replay like a Dragon Ball game, I'd be more interested because Dragon Ball I don't remember nowhere near as clearly as I do Z. Z is ingrained in everybody's minds. If you had me start from, or just give me like the opportunity to do unique stories, man, I would love if I could get more what if stories. But they won't do it. And listen, it's not like you couldn't ask Akira Toriyama to come up with some what if stories. Y'all do it for the movies anyway. Do it for the fucking game. Because then you would get me to get. I would buy a Dragon Ball Z game if it was like what if stories. I have what if stories for Dragon Ball Z. Like having arcs based on like Kale and Califia's and Cabbage's home planet. Is it Cabbage? I think it's Cabbage. I might be wrong. But it's on their home planet. And there are arcs with like Vegeta, Goku, and Gohan training the three of them. And they have this whole different dynamic where Kale is essentially the extreme of Goku in the sense that like all she cares about a good challenge. And maybe Calipha I should have said Caulifla. Caulifla is the extreme of Goku, and maybe the whole premise of that arc is that Goku realizes this is the problem when you become too obsessed about fighting strong people. You endanger the lives of the ones you love, which is what Caulifla's doing. Maybe Kale shows Gohan you can still be a peaceful individual, but be able to fight as hard as you can to protect the things you love, getting Gohan back into fucking gear. Or in Vegeta and Cabbage is like this mentor-mentee, where ironically enough he has the healthiest relationship, where Cabbage needs to be able to let go of his inner rage without losing himself to it. The problem is that's a little bit too similar to Kale's, but like I like that was like one of the few things I liked about Super was the Vegeta. Like I said, Cabbage. His name's probably not Cabbage. I forget his fucking name. You know who I'm talking about, but I forget his name. Yeah, actually, essentially, that's what it is, period. I have a bunch of ideas for Super. When you introduce the concept of multiple universes and different alien worlds, it don't make no fucking sense that everything still boils down to, well, let's just have a tournament arc. Let's have a tournament arc where the loser dies, even though you have Dragon Balls that can negate all this shit. Oh, by the way, Goku's also friends with the god of universes, so of course none of this shit matters. It's fucking annoying as hell. Yeah, I don't understand why removing the Dragon Ball, the Final Fantasy characters. Especially because that's Square shit. That's not even Disney shit. I understood Disney shit more than Square shit. Yeah, the Keyblade War was not a war at all. That was the other problem. And I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 is when you play 2, go back and play Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is I would borderline say is a masterpiece. That game is so good. And 3 feels like it doesn't even try. And that frustrates me. And that just frustrates the shit out of me, yo. Also, it was pretty dumb to pull up all the essential story towards the end of the game. Yeah. The Disney stuff is filler. Whereas the Disney stuff was a part of the story. Especially when you double back on your second visit through a lot of those worlds. And 2, you fought Organization 13 members. So it felt more like a part of the story. Versus here, where it's just like one playthrough and nothing of value is there. 3 is an overall just disappointing game. Even if you like the combat and shit, it is a disappointing fucking game. Why did all my viewers drop off? That's a little weird. Oh, 3 is just a sad game to me, bruh. And it makes me mad because they were so fucking close to being good and they wouldn't let it happen. Fuck you. Yeah, 2's better than 1 because I hate... 1 has a lot of platforming in it, and I don't think 1 understands that the controls aren't good enough to be doing platforming. That's besides the point. People tell me if you want a different Dragon Ball game, play the ones on DS. I would be perfectly cool. And see, listen, and here's the thing about 3. I don't mind the Sora training arc thing. That doesn't bother me if that was the premise of the game. The problem I have is him training doesn't amount to anything in the game because, first off, Sora's borderline broken when you first play. Like, let's be real, Kingdom Hearts 3 is not a hard game. Kingdom Hearts 3 is easy as shit, especially if you start abusing the overabundance of magic that you can fuck with in this game. Kingdom Hearts 3 is relatively easy as a title. Training arcs as a game is not bad, and then like the main shit happening later. The problem was that for one, Axel and Kyrie's training was off screen. They should have had Kyrie and Axel go to fucking towns and have like a 3-man team. So maybe it was Kyrie, Axel, and another character or something. Like, and then have them train and have certain arcs be specific to Kyrie and arcs be specific to Sora. And then do the shit what they did with Riku. It pisses me off. They go, you can control Riku in this game. And what do? I fight the same boss twice. I fight that fucking, that Heartless Tornado twice. And then I get my ass whooped by Aqua. And that's what I mean. Riku, we see what Riku is doing, and he doesn't get shit accomplished. Now, I'm not saying that Sora shouldn't have been the one to wake Aqua up, but I think each of the main characters should have freed another character. Like, if Sora woke up Aqua, then obviously Kyra and Axel would like help bring back Shion and Roxas. That would be their goal. And Riku would focus maybe on freeing Terra, right? So it feels like everyone's doing something. It pisses me off when Riku essentially is fucking around the whole time, not saving Aqua, and it isn't until he's about to almost get killed where he's like, Sora! And Sora has to come there and save him. Sora has to come out and save him and free Aqua. And then, or let me play as Aqua when I'm saving Ventus. Dickheads. Because, like, it pisses me off that in the cutscene, it's like, I can fight Vanitas, but then I still lose in the cutscene. Which is kind of the trade-off I think I mentioned before. A lot of people hate the fact that, like, that sometimes you'll win in the cutscene. Like, when we were talking about Pokemon, actually. We were talking about Pokemon where I think Tyrone was complaining about how it's frustrating that, like, Hop is supposed to be your rival, but you technically beat him all the time. And I said, well, the trade-off would be is that you win, is that you lose in the cutscene. That you beat him in the game, but you lose in the cutscene. Which I think is just as annoying. That I fucking curb stomp the shit out of you in the cutscene. I mean, in the fight. But the cutscene goes, oh, you struggled. That's like the worst fucking thing. And it happens a lot in RPGs because they don't know how else to do it. Yeah, the new Princess of Heart shit doesn't even. Yeah, we just said fuck that. That's why I can't understand when people say Kingdom Hearts 3 is a pretty good game. Like, maybe the gameplay, you could argue that. But the fucking. Like, if you were a fan of Kingdom Hearts, this is not a satisfactory end of that arc. And then you do that fucking nonsense at the end where fucking Xehanort is like, well, I had pure intentions. I was trying to save everyone from the darkness. And you're like, bitch, is this what we're doing? Is this what we're going to pretend like we give a fuck about? You just killed Kyrie and instigated a fucking war to supposedly bring the destruction of mankind. And you're going to be like, but I was trying to save the planet. You're not even portrayed to be that kind of villain with your noble intentions. You look evil, you act evil. There's nothing about you that makes people think, oh, well, he could be a good guy. No, he can't. He's a fucking dickhead. Ugh. I hate 3. 3 is such a disappointing fucking game. Which is why, and I already had a sneaking... Like I think I've said it before, Square Enix cannot be trusted with their big budget games. I don't know what the fuck it is, but any of their high tier ass games, other than like Dragon Quest, they keep fucking up. Final Fantasy, fucking up. You got a delay, and 15 was a fucking train wreck in a lot of ways. Kingdom Hearts suffered the same nonsense. Stop making big budget games because you're so concerned on visuals. The fucking game suffers and it's frustrating. Yeah, then I agree with that, DJ. That's like the reason why you're not going to get me to pay $30. I'll go watch a playthrough of the Remind DLC. I don't even know how long the Remind DLC is, but you're not going to get me to do it. No, that's true, Red Dragon. You're right. I mean, the gameplay people would have been more forgiving of if the game was fun. And Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't fun to me. Like, it's I like fighting enemies, and that's about it. Which is kind of fun. I can argue almost that the same issue with God of War, although in some cases I don't even like fighting God of War enemies because that shit's stupid in its own right. But that's a whole different rant for a different game. Yeah, that's the killer. The game had been in development for 6 years at least. And the kicker was that the last game was on the PlayStation fucking 2. So not only did it skip the 6 years, but it was like another 7, I want to say. 7 years before that. So we've been waiting like over a decade for this fucking third game. And the third game is such a disappointment. Also, how fucking hard is it to get a quality script. Why are we still doing this nonsense where characters talk like they have these stilted fucking conversations? Eat a dick no more. Oh, people, you know what? I'm going to throw this out. I don't know how people are going to agree with me. I think Xenoblade 2 has better fucking voice acting and cutscenes than fucking Kingdom Hearts 3. A game that people hate Rex's English voice for. I think Xenoblade 2 has better cutscenes. We're still doing that stilted ass talking. It's weird because it's touch and go. In some sequences, they're not stilted. In other sequences, they're completely stilted. Eat a dick, Nomura. Christ almighty on a motherfucking stick. How long does the Remind... I'm curious. How long does it take to even finish the Remind DLC? If it's $30 fucking dollars, how much content am I getting for $30? I'm just looking real quick. I'm just scanning. I'm scanning. Sorry, real quick. I'm just trying to see. It seems like the general opinions of the story implementation is not great. People don't like the expansion for Scala. The fights are probably the best part of it. Yeah, so it looks like a little bit. A lot of people fucking said, I seem to be getting, the general idea I'm getting is that it's that the most, well, Red Dragon, I'm curious. I'm just curious. How was the DLC also? What's up, Retro Death? You catch me at the end of the damn stream, but Retro Death, how was it? How was the DLC for me? Because what the general consensus I'm getting, I've seen trailers of Tim. It's like a Pokemon kind of type game. I haven't like looked, but I have seen like screenshots and a. I wouldn't say I watched the trailer. I just seen like clips of the trailer. The redemptions would have been cool. It pisses me off because the characters who get redeemed are in other fucking Disney worlds, which could have been somewhat of the premise of the Disney world. That they were conflicted during the whole Disney arc, and it's due to like the relations they were shown from those characters in that Disney arc. Like having Larxene being kind of like a tsundere, even though she barely does anything in that arc, is fucking ridiculous. They have her being like a tsundere when she like dies, quote unquote. But like, it doesn't mean anything because she's a dick in the Frozen world. And she also doesn't do a lot in the Frozen world. It's so weird. So weird. So literally, I feel like the DLC, it sounds like, was it worth the $30, Red Dragon? That's my question. Because what it sounds like is it wasn't. It sounds like the story stuff, from what I've seen at least off of message boards, is that the story stuff is disappointing. The area expansions weren't great, but people love the fights. People say the best part of the DLC is the fights, which is cool, but it's almost the same issue I have with 3 in general. That 3's best feature is the battle system. That's it. That and its visuals. It has beautiful visuals, and the battle system is lit. Hell, it reuses a bunch of music from 2. Christ. There's not even as much original music in this game. Fuck. I can't, yo. I can't with this game. I just can't. What do you mean it lasted too long? Kingdom Hearts 3 was rushed. It's the shortest game in the series, I think. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is not a long game. Not for Kingdom Hearts standards. It's like, isn't it like a 20-something hour game? Actually, I think it's just as long as the fucking new God of War. Which is stupid for an action RPG. Kingdom Hearts is not a long game by any means. 3, I mean. 3 is pretty short. But I want to hear Red Dragons before I end this. His, like, opinion. I'm just curious. Because, like, the fucking Kairi stuff is great. But that shit should have been in the main game. Red Dragon's like, fuck it. As long as you don't regret your purchase, I guess that's fine. I personally just, I would just watch it. Like Kingdom Hearts is a game that when I beat the third game, I had no interest in replaying it. Not even like a little bit. It was one of those things that I beat it and I put it down and I was good. Kingdom Hearts 3 is just a disappointing fucking game to me. And it's not even fun. That's what irked me more than anything else. That it wasn't that fun. This turned into a Kingdom Hearts rant. I didn't want that to happen. Anywho, I'm going to end this here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Join the Discord and fuck with that because I'm definitely boosting that up. And it seems like a lot of you guys are slowly but surely starting to fuck around in the Discord more. I'm going to try to keep pushing that. Build a real community here where we can start fucking around. And I think I might, if something happens next week, I'm going to try to do like a discussion-based podcast for next Sunday. We'll see what happens, but that's what I plan to do. And when I say that, I mean in the sense of like inviting some of you guys on for like podcasting, like joining the discussion. I'm not going to make this a regular thing, but I definitely do want to try it out. So that's something to keep note of. DJ is mad. DJ's like, fuck you. Jay's looking at DJ. He's like, fuck yes. It's funny because I can understand his rage. But with all that being said, thank you guys for the support. Thank you all the guys for loves. Loves, I can't talk. It is Sunday night, so I need to now watch and record the Pokemon episode review on the anime channel and then take a shower. But I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. I will catch you guys later. The Gaming Brothers, hi. I'm shouting you out because you just got here, but I'm about to end the stream. I'm sorry. I gotta go. It's like I'm looking at the watch. I gotta go. Peace out.